Greetings everybody, and welcome back to Industria Regrowth. Last episode I built this brand new storehouse. Off camera I went ahead and moved everything over. A lot of things went into these storage chests, a lot of things went into these compartments. They're actually really good for that. But now I'm going to pull a couple things out of here. Actually, I'm going to go ahead and keep that extra 7 living wood. I might have use for it before too much longer. At any rate, I do have 2 quests. I'm going to start with the Daybloom quest. And I do that by throwing 2 yellow petals, a light blue petal, and an orange petal into the apothecary. And then a seed gives me the Daybloom. And then I'm going to repeat the process to get a second one. Now, I did mention at the beginning of the first episode that I had made one change from the default configuration. It affects these Dayblooms. Now, Botania, by default, causes these flowers like Dayblooms. I think it's the Dayblooms, the Nightshades, and the... I forget what the third one's called, but basically, if it makes mana passively, it's only good for a few in-game days. Fortunately, there's a config setting that you can use to override that. I went ahead and used that config setting. I know, a little bit crazy, and I reserve the right to undo that change in configuration when I get to a point where I don't need to rely on those passive mana generation methods. But because I'm not anywhere close to that yet, I would very strongly prefer to have that off. Alright? So I got my Dayblooms, and I'm going to go ahead and actually take more Dayblooms as my reward for this challenge. Now, next up is the Horn of the Wild. And that requires a pasture seed. I have to sacrifice some bone meal to get it. And 5 living wood. That gives me the Horn of the Wild. And as luck would have it, I get back the bone meal as well as some floral fertilizer. Next up on the quest line, Spreading the Love, and that requires a mana spreader. And this would be my Botania compartment here. I'm also going to go ahead and grab 1 light gray flower. And how about 6 living wood? Yeah. That will do it. So let's craft 3 living wood twigs. Let's first turn that flower into petals. And that gives me the Wand of the Forest, which completes that quest. Next up is this quest, which requires a mana pool. And I'm actually going to go ahead and craft 2 mana pools for reasons that will become clear shortly. 2 diluted mana pools, and then I also need a mana spreader. The normal recipe has a gold ingot there, but this is Regrowth. The Regrowth mod pack replaces that with living wood, probably to make it accessible at this stage of the challenge. Alright. Now, that's not the completed challenge. I also need a mana pool. In order to do that, I need to first grab some dirt. 7 should do for now. Step 2 is to figure out where I'm going to go. Here looks good. So, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. And then I can put down the dirt. That's the 7 there. And then I'm going to go ahead and put a mana pool there. I'm going to put that there. I'm going to put this into bind mode. And then I'm going to bind that spreader specifically to the mana pool for the moment. And because it's raining, these Dayblooms aren't going to generate any mana, are they? Well, a little bit. Okay, so they are generating some mana. They're just not generating it with any great speed. While we wait for the mana to generate, I'm going to go ahead and use some of this floral fertilizer. And I'm also going to show you what the Horn of the Wild does. I used the floral fertilizer, and I'm going to use the second one, and it's planted down some flowers. Now if I use the Horn of the Wild, it breaks the flowers for me. I don't have to go around manually breaking all of these flowers. And there we go. That's 20 floral fertilizer expended for a not insignificant number of Botania flowers, which I'm going to go ahead and put up in the designated compartment. I'm also going to put up the Horn of the Wild. I have no need of it at the moment. I can go ahead and put up the cracked sand. Alright, is that enough? It is. Excellent. And now I can actually take another 8 day blooms. Alright, now I hate to expend a little bit of mana, but I did need to replace the mana pool that was there with the new mana pool. The non-diluted mana pool. Now I'm going ahead and grabbing some additional resources. Some more dirt. So 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And let's plant the day blooms. 13, 14, and 15. Alright. There we go. And now the other thing I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead and replace that and that with dirt. I'm actually going to go ahead, and I probably should go ahead and leave those 2 spots blank. But of course, now I have to worry about lighting. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and lay down some water inside this little 3x3 area I've set up here. And voila. Wait a minute, I don't think that was what I wanted, was it? It probably can't take one that's... No, it cannot. Alright, well, that was a waste of water. Thankfully, it's not like my supply of water isn't infinite, so that's not that big a deal in the grand scheme of things. Alright, so it looks like I need to go ahead and replace that. I'll go ahead and put the torch there. I can certainly use some more torches, but that will have to come later. I am definitely going to check the lighting, and it looks like I need a light there. Alright, so let's go ahead. Hey, neat. Okay, that's actually interesting. I may not need to fill up the bottom of that then. Now, so it looks like this hydrangea and this hydrangea can both see this mana spreader, which allows me to see the mana pool and to turn the second diluted mana pool into a proper mana pool. that's enough about the mana pools for now. There's 2 additional options here. Got soiled plans, which requires a compost bin. And that's not that hard. I need 3, well, first off, 6 sticks, and then and then 3 slabs, and that gets me a compost bin. And I think I want to go ahead and grab another 6 so that I can make a second compost bin. And there we go. Now I just need to make some compost to get some garden soil. But I'm not really there yet. Now I should probably show you one other thing. You see, I didn't have that connected originally. Off camera, between last episode and this one, I discovered that spiders were actually able to climb up that wall, make their way over to there, and then land there and make their way into my base that way. That little pillar, that 3-block pillar, is my solution to that problem. Alright, but anyway, let's get that sorted out. Let's put down the 2 compost bins. I'm going to grab 24 wheat. I'm not too worried about my wheat supply at this point. Now let me check. How much garden soil do I need? Only the 1. So I really only need 1 piece of compost in order to complete that mission. All well and good. But I think there's another mission I can take on. Yes. And I just need to make an essence seed. And to make an essence seed, I just take a regular seed and throw it in to the mana pool. Problem is, I'm not in the best of places with regards to seeds. So, Plan C. And Plan C is going to be, first off, clear this area out a little bit more. And even this is going to be temporary. Yes, that's right. Virtually everything in this space is temporary at this point. I really don't have any well-defined plans for the space at this point. I mean, the storehouse is the closest thing I have to permanence, and I'm not 100% sure I'm going to keep the storehouse in that particular configuration. Anyway, what I'm going to do, 7, 8, 1, 2, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Ooh. There we go. And that's the dirt planted. Let me grab a piece of flint to fix up the pickaxe. Also, grab my mattock. And what I'm going to do, in the interest of actually having a seed, I'm going to grab 2 plants out of here. And before I actually do anything with these, I'm going to go ahead and analyze both of them. Of course, I only really need to worry about 1, but having both analyzed will definitely be an advantage. Oh, right, I think I put these, yes, the rest of my crops are up there. Okay. Well, that's fine, I think. And actually, I don't think I need any more water than that. I mean, I wouldn't be remiss in filling all of that up with smooth water. In fact, I think I might as well. Alright. And let me craft myself some cobblestone slabs in order to cover up the water. Now, I know it's open air, so there is the risk of a stray mob. That was not what I wanted. So let's go ahead and fix that. There we go. Alright. And then I'm going to start over here. I'm going to plant down the seed. And then I'm going to go ahead and set up an automatic crossbreeding. Now, let me quickly explain what's up with these seeds. I threw these two seeds, into the seed analyzer. Most of the seeds in this mod pack can be analyzed in the seed analyzer, and they have three statistics: growth, gain, and strength. Growth is roughly how fast it grows, and it's on a scale from 1 to 10. 1, of course, is slowest growth, 10 is fastest growth. I can't claim to know exactly what the distinction is between the various levels of growth, what the difference is between a 1 and a 2 or 1 and a 10, for example. Gain is a bit more obvious. It's how much product I get. In the case of these seeds, the product's wheat. Of course, other seeds have their distinct products that you can get from them. And the gain tells you how many products you get for a given seed. For a gain level between 1 and 3, you get 1 product. For a gain level between 4 and 6, you get 2 products. For a gain level between 7 and 9, you get 3 products. And if you get the gain all the way up to 10, you get 4 products. The third statistic is strength, and that is a measure of how well it resists weeds. Now, the death of the world has meant the death of all the weeds. So, no weeds, no need for the strength stat, but still preferable to get it up to 10 if possible, just so that I do have that triple 10. Now, I've planted this here. Now, by setting up the cross crop sticks next to it, I've set it up so that once this is fully grown, it can crossbreed this one. And it will do so with a strict improvement. It's basically a sole source, so it will jump to here, and it'll get maybe a little bit better, and then a little bit better, better, and so on and so forth, up until it gets here. And now my hope is that it gets here around a 10, 10, 10. I think a 7 or 8, maybe a 9 is more realistic, given that I've got 17 items. I think it usually takes 20-some to get all the way up to a 10, 10, 10. But at any rate, now that I've got the seeds set to crossbreed, and the reason I'm crossbreeding those seeds is that so I can grow wheat, and the wheat's going to serve 2 purposes at this point in the game. The first, as you've seen in a previous episode, is for the production of bread. The second is that I can use it in the compost bins to make compost, which I can then use to make garden soil that I need for magical crops, which I can start with simply by throwing this seed into the mana pool and getting the essence seed back out. And actually, while I'm at it, I think I'm going to go ahead and take the seed analyzer and move it out of here and into the storehouse on top of my furnace over here. Yeah, that looks good. And now I can analyze the essence seeds. And it's got much the same statistics. And there we have it. Now, what I need to do is plant that, and I can get some essence dust. Plant the essence seeds. But first I need garden soil, and garden soil requires compost. So, here's my very approximate second stage plan here. Where am I going to put the second farm anyway? Actually, down there doesn't look so bad. Let's see here. I'm going to go ahead and actually remove that slab. I'm going to go ahead and craft up another set of 6. Throw the excess in there. The water I do want to fill up. That's fine. I don't know if I have enough crop sticks. So I'm going to take another stack of sticks and turn them into more crop sticks. I think I'm also going to put up other things that I've got that I won't be needing for the rest of this episode, or at least I don't expect to need anytime too soon. So you can also put the mata pull up in there. I do need to fill this up with water. But yeah, so let's go over here. So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There we go. 10, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8. Now this is going to be a little bit interesting because I have nowhere near enough garden soil to actually complete this. But at any rate, I'm going to go ahead and start filling this up a bit. There we go. Now I can go ahead and use that flint-matic and lay down the first crop sticks and the essence seeds. Now, the essence seeds will need a while to grow. The first wheat has just grown, and it's going to make the jump to the second one at some point. I can't claim to know when precisely, but it is what it is. At any rate, the other thing I'm going to do at this point is lay down my slabs here with the idea of covering up the water sources so that I'm less likely to walk into them. I may not be able to completely avoid it because I don't have all of the garden soil that I need to complete that. But yeah, that's what I've got at this point. And I think that's going to do it for this episode. I'm going to need to take some time, let the wheat and the essence seeds grow a bit, start spreading. Maybe get a little bit more compost if I can. Actually, never mind. I forgot that garden soil completed the Soil to Plans quest. That I was so focused on the essential quest. Ah, well. I'm not going to get an infestation spore this episode. But I can at least finish up the essence seed farm. So let me take care of that real quick. There we go. And I do have one extra left, but that's fine. I can hold on to it until a bit later. And now for the crossbreeding sticks. And with this, I'm going to call it an episode. I will see you next time, everybody.